Hello YouTube and welcome back. X Factors are back in NHL 24. In this video we'll go over everything you need to know about the X Factors in the game and also how you can get yourself 3 X Factors at the launch of the game. If you're watching this video, please make sure you like and subscribe and also follow me on Twitch. I'm live 5 days a week. There will be a lot of NHL 24 content as we go. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. This year EA had a different approach and we will have 32 X Factor cards, one for each team. It's actually a good addition because now finally you can use an X Factor card for your favorite team. There are also 6 female X Factor cards, so in total we have 38 X Factor cards to choose from. Before we look at the X Factor cards, remember, don't stack your team with an X Factor cards early in the game. It will be very expensive to upgrade the cards the higher they will get in the overall. Also, I would suggest you only use the X Factors from your favorite team or if it's your favorite player. Again, there are people who grind this game very much, so if you are grinding for Team of the Year, make sure that you're choosing the X Factor cards who potentially can get Team of the Year players, because then your Team of the Year grind will be much easier. I will not rank the X Factor cards because in general there are only a few X Factors who will get a Team of the Year card, and also all the cards are very good. There is also a player out for every single card. I probably would like to try them all, but how expensive there are, I probably will only end up with maybe using maximum 5 X Factor cards this year. The first one is Jenny Hrioski from Team Finland. A new female X Factor card this year, gold truculence, and in general the card looks very decent. Obviously she's very small, so I don't know exactly how efficient she will be. The next female X Factor card will be Hillary Knight. With a gold unstoppable force, with a decent speed, shooting stats, and even body checking is quite good. I think they did increase the body checking for female players this year. Again, she's quite small, so she will not be in everyone's lineup, but personally I would like to try her out. The next one, Cale Makar, the cover boy. Probably one of the best cards out there. You need to think about, do you really want to invest in this Cale Makar's card all year long, or you will grind for that 99 set and have 99 everything Cale Makar at the end of the year. He probably will also receive Team of the Year card, so it's up to you if you want to invest in his X Factor. If yes, then this card will be very efficient in your lineup. Same about Connor McDavid. Gold wheels as a zone ability, 94 speed, probably will stay in your lineup for a very long time. It will be very expensive to upgrade him, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, he will get a Team of the Year card, I would say 95% guaranteed, so there is really no any reasons why not to chase the Connor McDavid this year. Next one is Matthew Tkachuk. Close quarters and big tipper. Very fun superstar and zone abilities, but that speed, they really don't like Matthew Tkachuk. He's a quite big player, but come on, can he at least once have some decent speed? The next card is Marie-Philippe Poulin. I'm actually surprised that she's lower than Hillary Knight, but unfortunately it is what it is. With unstoppable force, 88 speed, and 87 faceoffs, she's very decent. If I would need to choose one of the female cards, she'd probably be the one I would be chasing first. The next one, Jason Robertson. Close quarters, 86 speed. I really wish at least once we could see a Jason Robertson's card with a decent speed. His shooting stats are very good, and in general the card probably would be fun to use. If speed is meta again, and probably it is, then this card will not be in everyone's lineup. The next one, Ilya Sorokin from New York Islanders. I don't really know how efficient the goaltenders are. I know that the goaltenders are much better than they were last year, but who knows? He probably will also receive Team of the Year card, so if you're looking for a goaltender, I would really suggest you try Ilya Sorokin out. The next female X Factor card is Anne-Renee Desbiens. Again, her Team of the Year card last year was very bad, but in general all the goaltenders were bad. I probably would not invest in a female goaltender because she's very small, so it means I don't think she will be very efficient in the net. Next one, Sidney Crosby from Pittsburgh Penguins. Unstoppable force, decent speed, and in general, one of my favorite X Factors every year. I don't know, there is something about Sidney Crosby's X Factor, it always plays better than his stats. The next one is Jack Eichel, the Stanley Cup champion. At the 85 overall, he already have 90 speed and gold elite edges. If you're looking for a solid center who can also play on the wing, then Jack Eichel is your choice. The next one would be Jack Hughes from New Jersey Devils. He's a solid card for people who really like Jack Hughes. For me, his cards never really played good, maybe because he's very small and he reminds me of Patrick Kane, who is constantly being bumped off the puck. 91 speed, solid shooting stats, but if you look at the checking stats, they're very poor. The next one is his brother, Quinn Hughes, the new captain of Vancouver Canucks. Again, very solid defenseman, but look at the size. I don't think he will be efficient. In the same side, would be really fun to pair him up with Cale Makar and see what those two guys can do. The next one is Roman Josi from Nashville Predators. Another card who potentially will receive Team of the Year card, so if you are looking for a defenseman to invest, then Roman Josi would be your choice. Next one is Mitch Marner. A lot of people are disappointed that this is not Aston Matthews. I'm personally happy to see that Mitch Marner get an X Factor card instead of Matthews, because finally someone else from Maple Leafs can actually have that X Factor and there is some variety. Charlie McAvoy from Boston Bruins. Usually you see Marchand or Bergeron. Obviously Bergeron now retired, so there is not a lot of choices left. I was expecting to see a goaltender, but Charlie McAvoy is also a good choice. The next one is Josh Morrissey from Winnipeg Jets. 1T as a zone ability, quite decent speed considering his size. I did test it out one-timers, and all I can say, the one-timers are going in more often than they were last year. So 1T probably will be one of the most efficient zone abilities this year. The next one is obviously Alex Ovechkin. I was expecting to see someone else from Washington Capitals, but I understand why Ovechkin received a card. Silver truculence and 1T. Really fun card to use. Again, very, very slow, but for people who really love Ovechkin and like to use him every single year, you again have a card. Another surprise is Braden Point from Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm not saying he didn't deserve a card, but we are so used to see Stamkos or Vasilevsky, then it was really surprised to see someone else. The card in general is very solid. 92 speed, unstoppable force, hands decent, shooting decent, checking. Obviously you have to avoid, but in the end of the day, Braden Point is out there to score goals. I would probably use him on the wing instead of the center, but maybe once you upgrade the card a little bit more, he will be decent even in the center position. The next one is Artemi Panarin from New York Rangers. Make it snappy and ankle breaker. To be honest, I was expecting someone else. I don't think Artemi Panarin deserves an X-Factor card. I probably would like to see Zibanejad get one, maybe next year. The next one is Kirill Kaprizov from Minnesota Wilds. Another fun card to use every single year. I like to use him early in the game, but the more we get into the game cycle, I usually have to downgrade him. So this year I probably will skip his X Factor. He's way too small, and if the size will be the meta, then he will not be very efficient. Sebastian Aho. Quick draw. If he will get better face-off stuffs, he will be a very, very solid card. I'm surprised to see he only have 87 speed, but if you look at the shooting stats, they're very, very decent. Next card is Rasmus Dahlin from Buffalo Sabres. One of the cards I probably will chase early in the game. He will be very solid with Cale Makar because from one side you will have the speed, from other side you will have the size. He only have 85 speed, but he will remind me of that Hedman's card, who may not be the fastest player, but I believe he will help me with all the hits. The next one is Drew Doughty from LA Kings. Zone ability and superstar abilities are quite mid, same about the stats. Or maybe I'm just not a Drew Doughty's fan. I probably will skip him because I think there are much better right-handed defensemen out there. But again, if you're an LA King fan, there are no any reasons why you would not need to grab this card. The next one is Johnny Gaudreau from Columbus Blue Jackets. Very surprised to see Gaudreau get an X-Factor card for Columbus Blue Jackets. I was 100% sure it will be Line, but it is what it is. Another small left-handed winger with a solid speed and solid shooting stats. Maybe the more you will upgrade a card, the more it will be efficient, but at the moment he's very, very small, so I don't think he would ever fit my lineup. Jordan Kyrou from St. Louis Blues. I remember a few years ago his Evolution card. Hopefully his X-Factor will be as good as his Evolution cards a few years back. And then we have a Dylan Larkin from Red Wings. Not a surprise, there's really no one else you could give an X-Factor card, maybe Moritz Seider. Who knows, maybe Seider will get an X-Factor card next year. Maja Nylund Persson from Sweden, right-handed defender. Actually, not a bad card, but obviously she's very, very small. Just because I never really tried the card before, if I would pull, I maybe would upgrade her a little bit just to see how good she is. For sure, she would not stay in my lineup for long due to the size, but if you're just building yourself a team and trying out new players, would be fun to see what she's capable of. The next is Tim Stutzle from Ottawa Senators. A lot of people will be very happy to see him with an X-Factor card. I'm not a fan of the team or in the player in general. He's very talented, don't take me wrong, but I just think that there are much better centers and left-handed wingers out there. And then we have Rasmus Andersson from Calgary Flames. Solid right-handed defenseman with a very balanced size. He don't have any superstar abilities because he's only 83 overall at the moment, but he do have Seeing Eye as a zone ability. We also have Vince Dunn from Seattle Kraken, another 83 overall left-handed defenseman. Who knows how good the card will be when it will go up a little bit in the overall. If you're a Seattle Kraken fan, please get this card and use in your lineup. And finally, Sharks have an X-Factor card. Thomas Hertl, actually a very solid card. Considering the size, he probably will be a very good in the face-ups later in the game. Not a lot of options for Blackhouse. Seth Jones once again is receiving an X-Factor card. Hopefully next year we'll see Connor Bedard. We also have Clayton Keller from Arizona Coyotes. I really enjoy using Clayton Keller's MSPs the years before. Not the biggest guy, but very fun card to use. And for the Philadelphia Flyers, we have Travis Konechny. Not the best synergies and zone ability combo so early in the game, so it's very difficult to say how good the card will be. There is also Nick Suzuki from Montreal Canadiens. With a quick draw, this card will be very efficient because quick draw is probably one of the best, if not the best, zone abilities for the centers. And we also have Haruka Toko. What a fun card it was last year. I was expecting to see gold truculence, but you know, gold close quarters will also do. The next one is Trevor Zegras from Anaheim Ducks. Zone ability skilled up is quite useless now, considering we can now score the Michigans with just pressing one button. Okay, these are all the X Factors. Let me know in the comment section below, are you using any X Factor cards in your team and who is your favorite so far? Now let's talk about how you can get yourself 3 X Factors at the start of the game. Your first X Factor you will get in your starter pack. For me it was Artemi Panarin. Not the best choice for sure, but it is what it is, and I will just try him out and maybe he actually will be decent. Now let's go and check out the X Factor sets. You can see there are 2 sets we can get ourselves an X Factor. One is trading in X Factor collectibles, another one is trading in 50 players. All you have to do, you have to trade in 38 X Factor collectibles and you will get yourself 1 X Factor player choice pack. To get yourself 38 X Factor collectibles, all you have to do is go into the moments and complete these both X Factor moments and international X Factor moments. The good thing about these moments is you only need to complete the first objective. Get assists with Trevor Zegras would give me 1 X Factor collectible. Once you get yourself 38 X Factor collectibles, go back into the sets and trade them in. There is also an X Factor player choice set where you have to trade 50 gold players for a choice pack. And as every other year, we have a reroll set. Later in the year, when you will have quite a lot of X Factor cards you don't really like, you can always trade them in for a chance to maybe pull X Factor McDavid. For your information, I did check the Pro-Am in World of Shell and I couldn't see any rewards there. I don't think we will need to grind World of Shell this year for a free X Factor. Okay guys, that's it about X Factors in NHL 24. Let me know down in the comments who did you get in your starter pack and who are you chasing first. Hope you enjoyed the video, have a good one and see you on the ice.